Yes, I'm now joined in the studio by our French politics editor, Mark Perriman. Mark, so it took 2 weeks to put this government together, but it is worth reminding our viewers that this isn't something that the president decided to do. He was forced into this situation because a few ministers quit.
Yes, not only a few ministers, his two most senior ministers quit. And not only did they quit, they really criticized him directly. The first out of the door was the environment minister, Nicolas Hulot, very well known, very liked by the French public, who went on a morning radio show and resigned. And he said he hadn't told the president. He said the president's environmental record was not good enough, that lobbies were having sway on Emmanuel Macron, and so he left. He was replaced. And then a few weeks later, the number 2 of the government, Gerard Collomb, the interior minister, announces he wants to run for local elections for mayor of Lyon. Then a few weeks pass, and he says to Emmanuel Macron, I want to resign now. The president tells him, no, I don't want you to resign. The next day, Gerard Collomb gives an interview saying, I am going to resign, hence forcing the president to accept this. This was 2 weeks ago exactly. And as a way to regain the momentum, to show that he's in control, Emmanuel Macron took his time, those 2 long weeks for a cabinet reshuffle, basically to convey the message that he would choose his new government carefully, with method, calmly, and so on. But the fact is also that there's not a lot of people who he could recruit. Many of them refused to go into the government, and so we have this cabinet reshuffle, which is rather modest in size, but also in terms of personality.
Now, Macron's been keen to involve members of civil society in government, but in this new government, really, all the new appointments, they're of professional politicians.
Yes, absolutely. When Emmanuel Macron arrived, he said, I want to bring fresh blood into politics. And so he appointed several personalities of civil society, as it's known here in France. Some of them are still in government, the education minister, the health minister, who are professionals from education and from public health. However, though the newcomers are all professional politicians, 2 from the centrist Modem party, 1 from the Socialist Party, 1 from the Conservative Party. This minister is Franck Riester, who becomes the new culture minister, and he replaces Françoise Nyssen, who is at the helm of a publishing house, who is seen as someone who would really be someone who would care about culture, and she's being kicked out, and she's being replaced by a professional politician. So this is probably the illustration that Macron arrived and say, this will be a new dawn in French politics, a small cabinet with people from diverse backgrounds, and we end up with a big cabinet, 35 ministers, and with mostly professional politicians.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Mark.